As you can see, we are approaching Mount Hood, tallest mountain in the great state of Oregon, 11,249 feet. Today is June 25th, 2022. This area only became accessible the last maybe a week to 10 days, give or take. Started about 3,900 feet, ascending in this segment to about 5,800 feet, entering the Alpine Zone. Still not incredibly high, but it's as high as you can go at the end of June. You want to get up to the mountain proper, gotta wait till August, September. So we're pushing the limits for June. It's as high as you can go now, with higher treks later in the season. Fortunately, there's been no mosquitoes so far. Cascades are kind of notorious for being very mosquito laden, but since there's really not any bodies of water, at least in this section, we got Doe Creek to our left and eventually Tilly Jane Creek to our right. Interested to see if there's mosquitoes in that area or not, but for the lion's share, at least so far, no mosquitoes. So we continue to ascend, watching my footwork. This is no joke, it's just straight up. This is a stair climber hike, if I've ever seen one. I did Black Butte Trail last week. That one was 9.8 miles and 3,400 feet elevation gain, so actually 1,000 more elevation gain on that one than this one at 2,400 feet, but definitely getting flashbacks to that one. That was exhausting, and by the end of this one, I'll probably be pretty fatigued. So far, so good. Look how beautiful this is. Good, mighty Mount Hood. Majestic Mount Hood. All her 11,249 foot splendor. Tallest mountain in the great state of Oregon. Look at this blue sky. This is like a picture of a perfect day. I'm also loving this ridge we're on right now. It's got perfect views of Hood and it's very flat. It's a nice respite after a non-stop trek up Hood. Going up 2.6 miles and 1,900 foot elevation gain. That is segment 1. That in itself is pretty daunting, but we will continue on over to Tilly Jane Campground, 15 primitive spots. Go check those out. Overlook at the guard station. Go over to Cloud Cap Inn, Cloud Cap Saddle Campground, and then go over to Timberline Loop, which is a world famous backpacking circuit, a 40-mile backpacking loop. Go over there and descend a canyon down to Eliot Branch River, arguably the most dangerous river in the whole 40-mile circuit. Ice cold with ropes to cross. No joke that river is. I think people have died crossing it, unfortunately. We are not going to be fjording it today. We're just going to the East Banks as our turnaround point. Turn around and come back down from whence we came, down to our Tilly Jane trailhead. So in all, it's about 8 miles, 2,400 foot elevation gain. One of the other paths you can do is, instead of turning right, what we're going to do and doing that whole side jaunt, is you just keep going up all the way up to Cooper Spur. Can't do that today because of the snow level. From the most recent trip reports I've read, is a little while after the Tilly Jane cabin, it's thick snow. So that would be hard even without snow, but with snow, it's a no-go. If you try to go all the way to the top of Cooper Spur, which is 9,000 foot elevation from where we started, it's 5,300 foot elevation gain. That is a legit hike. That is no joke. So that is one of the harder hikes you can do in the area. Pretty legit. I did a Black Butte 9.8 mile, 3,400 foot last week, and that was exhausting. And another way to do it is just to drive up the first part, the 1,900 foot, up to Cloud Cap in, and then just doing the 3,300 feet from there. If you did that, it would be less than what I did last week. Last week I did Black Butte, 3,400 elevation, and if you drive up to Cloud Cap, park there, and then do Cooper Spur, you're 3,300. So you're doing 100 feet less incline than what I did last week. So it's another way to do it. My gosh, the beauty of this area. This is crazy. It's non-stop incline. 1,900 feet and 2.6 miles. The first segment. Definitely the hardest part. This is definitely a hike where you want to get here as early as possible. We woke up at 3:45 and got here at 5:45. Sunrise is 5:20. So we're definitely rewarded. We're the only ones on the trail, and it's in the 50s. Temperature-wise, maybe wind chill into the 40s. Much more pleasant. Actually having a heat wave this week. Later today, it's going to get a lot hotter. Forecast I was seeing were saying in the 70s, but could get higher, could get in the 80s. I would not want to be on this trail with this oppressive direct sunlight in the 80s. That will melt your energy like you're an ice cube in the Sahara, for a little alliteration analogy there for you. So you want to do it early when it's still colder. It's funny how much the temperature ranges up in these mountain areas in the morning, even in July, August, September. It's not uncommon for it to be in the 20s, 30s, 40s. And then by peak sun, it could be 70s, 80s, 90s. It could be a 50, 60, 70 degree swing up here in the mountains. So you get the cold of winter at the start, and the hot of summer midday in one hike. It makes it a little bit of a challenge as far as knowing how to dress and hydrate, temperature management, but it's part of following best practices and being a pro. I cannot get enough of these epic mountain views. That white marshmallowy snow. Tallest mountain in the great state of Oregon, 11,249 feet. Look at that. That is